I was on the founding team of Look After My Bills, which had the best ever deal on Dragon's Den in the UK and saved the British public £127 million in 3 years. I am the CEO and founder of Mothertree, and Mothertree's mission is to make it really easy for busy professionals and climate conscious companies to go green and save money. We focus on finance and bills for our clients.
What does digital transformation mean to you?
Digital transformation to me means bringing in digital products that make it easier for consumers to achieve tasks that generally sit further down their to-do list. And I'll give you a couple of examples. So for us, the service we run at Mothertree is about identifying where we can get consumers and businesses better interest rates, better return rates, but also reducing carbon for those choices. Now we can do that through manually looking for them, online and making sure we're getting the right funds for them. But actually using digital transformation, we can then reduce the time it takes to look up those options and make it really easy for consumers and our customers to make choices that are great for the planet and also great for their pocket.
What are some of the key elements that you consider when setting your objectives and key results?
So for me, it all comes down to two things. One is impact. What is the positive impact we can have in terms of the work we're doing? And getting really ruthless in terms of prioritization on focusing on where we can have that biggest impact. And then the second thing is value. Where can we unlock the most value for the clients we work with? Now, obviously, I'm a big believer if we can do those two things, if we can have a major positive impact and if we can unlock huge value for customers, then revenue and margin will follow. But the main things that we look at for success, where can we have the biggest impact and where can we deliver most value to our customers?
How do you track progress and measure the success of your digital transformation projects?
So this is a really great question. So the way we track progress, so every single test that we run, every single new project that we implement, we're A/B testing it. So we always get a baseline and every single week we're updating. Sometimes it's shorter, but at the very minimum, it's a week. We're updating those results to see how it's performing, both just in terms of quality and delivery, but also in terms of customer experience and in terms of overall customer numbers. So the kind of qualitative and quantitative view. The key thing for me for each test is we have really clear success criteria. And that often comes down to, is it having positive impact? Is it delivering a better result for our customers? And ultimately, is it delivering more revenue for the business? So every single test we run is coming back to those main figures to make sure that the digital transformations we do are having the required impact.
What are the common challenges in realizing business value from digital transformation and how to address?
Gosh, that's a really good question. So realizing business value from digital transformation, I think one is visibility, just getting visibility that the change that's being put in place is actually having the desired result. That's really hard. It takes discipline. The second is focus. It's often that it's not just one project going on. Actually, there's always lots of plates spinning, several projects going on at once. How can you really determine that this one project had a positive or negative impact? So for me, it all comes down to the data, tracking the data really ruthlessly and making sure as much as you possibly can, isolating each change so it's having the impact you want. One of the ways we do that is the sort of MVP method, minimal viable products. What's the minimum thing we can do to get a steer on this potential chain? And so you're kind of moving the data in the right direction through those small changes. And then once you're confident, this is the way we want to go, then building something more substantial to scale it.
How did you communicate these benefits to stakeholders and ensure they were realized?
It's the way we do that at Mothertree. Every week we meet and we talk through the projects that are ongoing. We talk through success. We talk through things that haven't gone to plan. So we really stay very tight to changes that are happening. And we look through the data in that meeting as well. And for me, that's really key. So we kind of combine the data with the experience the employees going through to make that project happen. And we can make a kind of decision each week in terms of what's what's going on. Then for my shareholders each month, I email them. It's with the data for the high level data for the company, also the projects that we're working on and the projects we delivered and the success or not, because it's fine to have a failure as long as we understand why it's failed in terms of each of those projects. So we're really kind of managing on a weekly basis with the team, and then a monthly basis with our shareholders.
How do you prioritize and allocate resources for digital transformation projects to ensure they are successful?
For me, this comes down to prioritization, and kind of similar to what I mentioned earlier. But if we can get a really clear hypothesis and understanding of the potential impact these things are going to have, and we can get a clear understanding of the potential value it can return to customers, well, that helps us to start to understand, okay, where should we allocate resource? The other things we look at are, how complex is this for tech to deliver? How easy is it to create an MVP? And how much resource would it take to maintain that MVP? So we're kind of looking at effort across tech and we call it operations. And then we're looking at potential customer uplift as well. So are we able to bring in additional customers? And so through all of those elements get a score: impact score, value to customer score, effort score, and then we call it scale. What's the potential to scale? And that allows us to then filter that list on those various scores. You get an overall score, but actually what we want to be doing is raising the really easy to deliver tasks, which have the max return in terms of impact to the top of that list. And then that's where we allocate resource. Sometimes it comes down to just drawing a line and just saying, okay, we think we can only deliver 2 things really well. So then we're going to draw a line and we're just going to focus on those 2 things. And until they're done, we don't look at anything else. Sometimes we can be a bit more fluid and try and, be a bit more intelligent in terms of how we allocate, but that is basically how we do it.